Metzger. I'm the owner of Geist Animal Hospital, veterinarian for 33 years. I've worked at 2 practices. Started at a practice, 45th and Shadeland, small animal practice, was there roughly 11 years, 12 years, and I've been up here 19 years now. A couple things. Everybody likes animals that wants to be a veterinarian, but that's usually not enough. I like to fix things, and surgery especially was my interest at the time, so it was putting things back together. Back 30 years ago, you didn't have a specialist, so if something was broken bones or a problem with the liver, gallbladder, you had to figure out how to do it, so you did it all. I still enjoy what I do, but it's totally different than what I did 30 years ago. The technology is neat. It's really neat to see what they can come up with. If you wanted to look inside the abdomen of something, all you had was an x-ray, you'd go in surgically and look at it. Now you can do an ultrasound. You can get a 3D picture of what's going on inside without ever having to sedate the animal, put them at any risk, or do anything. I can go in, see what's inside an animal, never have to sedate them to do it, and come up with an answer. If it's something that says cancer, I can find out before I go in a lot of times. It's just a neat piece of technology that's getting even better. The best part of that is echocardiograms, ultrasounds of the heart. The information you can get out of it is unbelievable, and to see it is unbelievable what they can do. The technicians that run those, you can see inside each chamber of the heart. You can measure velocity flow of blood out through each valve. You can actually look and see a valve when it's beating and see that it doesn't close. You could never do that before. Number one is the management, the business end of it, and especially the business end dealing with the government. Trying to meet all the government regulations, figure out what in the world they want you to do. Just the day-to-day operation, it just takes up a lot of time. Probably one day a week I spend just doing paperwork, payroll, depositing things in the bank, tax forms, staffing, figuring out things there, just the business end of it. And that's time that could be spent working with animals. The other part of it is actually with the animal end is when you see an animal that you know you can help, and especially in this economy where the owners are kind of constrained with money, and say, no, we shouldn't put this to sleep, let's try this, to try and come up with options for them when they financially can't afford something. So that gets hard when somebody's ready to give up and you know you can probably help that animal out. And it's up to them. All I can do is make recommendations, give them all the options, let them make the decision. Sometimes I disagree with it, but that's not my business. It's not my responsibility to do that, to take care of their animal. So we've been here 19 years. First time was somebody who was going to physical therapy as well, and they ran through the karate studio next, sort of 2 down from us, went through an empty building and ended up in the pizza place. The building just outside of ours, or the unit just outside of ours. This time it was on the other side of our building, and we were doing surgery. We had a dog down on the table, and we were about halfway through the procedure. EKG machine's beeping, everything's pretty quiet, lights are on, and we're kind of focusing on what we're doing. And you hear a crash, and it just sounds like somebody dropped something, broken glass. Didn't think anything of it, and then about 2-3 seconds later you hear another crash. Didn't think anything of it, hear a third crash. Now they've gone through 2 buildings, and all of a sudden we start seeing our wall coming in. And we actually pushed our surgery table, it pushed the EKG machine, it knocked over our oxygen tank, the power went out, the anesthesia, of course, for the animal goes off, and all of a sudden we're sitting there in the dark. This cloud of dust, which is all drywall dust. The car, when it was going through, had actually gotten stuck pushing the buildings, so its tires are now spinning, so we've got smoke in the building, which you think something's on fire. Girls come back, Amy comes running back, what do we do, what do we do? And they were all really great as far as handling it. What we did was just give me the stapler, we'll close up the wound that we've got, we'll wake the dog up right away, take him in the back, and we'll deal with it, and that's it. Nobody was hurt, the dog did great, we finished his surgery a month later. But we had a big hole in our wall, and we lost about 12 feet of wall out of the whole thing, and no power. I really enjoy seeing the people. There are a lot of people that are great clients that I love to see, love to talk to them about their family. We talk about my family. They've become friends, good friends. Secret is, on a lot of their records, I write notes down about their family. So the next time they come in, I might ask them, how was the vacation, what are the kids doing? So I can remember that. So the association, the bonding with people, is really fun. It's still fun working on animals and seeing different animals, but I've gotten to enjoy my good core of clients really well, enjoy seeing them. And the people up here are really nice.
part of working here is probably the interactions with my coworkers, because they're really just fun and enjoyable people to be around. So, and I've learned a lot about working just with animals and in veterinary settings, and lots of cool medical stuff that nobody else cares about. I primarily work in the kennels, so most of what I do every day is just taking care of the animals that are boarding here and that are staying for like surgeries and things. So I mostly just provide them with water and clean their cages and wash bedding and dishes and things like that. So it's pretty simple, but it's fun and I like it. Probably best out of everything because I get to spend more time interacting with the animals that come in as opposed to interacting with the people that bring them in. Part of what I sometimes help with are technical jobs for like the veterinarian assistant, and part of what we do is like making up surgery packs that are like kits that the veterinarian will use that are completely sterile for when he does things like spays and tumor removals and stuff. So we wrap up all the instruments in several layers of surgical towel, and then we put it in an autoclave that cleans it using steam so it comes out completely sterilized, and we can reuse the same equipment multiple times. Part of what our business does is we provide people and their pets with veterinary diets that aren't typically available in pet stores and things like that. So we keep some of them stocked regularly that you would see at the front of the building that people can just come in and buy, and then if they need them before we actually have them in, or if they need a special order or in larger quantities, they can call us and order that. And there's also the Purina brand veterinary stuff. We don't stock any of that regularly, so they actually call us and we'll place orders specifically for certain people. I think my favorite part is just working with, like I said, my coworkers and the animals in the back that I take care of on a daily basis, and getting to know them. They're always ones that you find that come in really frequently or that you just remember really well, and they're like your favorites. Like whenever they're here, you recognize them and you recognize like their eating habits and things like that. So it's really fun to form a relationship with them and have them like remember you the first time. They've been in here a while, and you realize that they remember who you are just as much as you remember them.